ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. We are reading from the book Pramana Vicara by An Inquiry into the Nature of Knowledge by Swami Dayananda Saraswati. We are going to be rereading the section which is called Aparoksha Jnanam, immediate knowledge from the beginning, because we were halfway through it last time. Aparoksha Jnanam, immediate knowledge. The knowledge gained by words is always paroksha, indirect, if the object is other than you. This is the case with the Laukika words or those words found in the Karma Kanda. Such words give rise only to indirect knowledge. However, one cannot extend this to the topic dealt with in Vedanta Shastra. It is not talking about anything away from you. It is in fact talking about you. Nobody can say, I am unknown to myself. Everyone can assert that he exists. Everyone says, I exist, I am. Then he can say, I exist as a samsari, subject to time, place, and other forms of limitations. That I am, I exist does not require a pramanam. It does not require even your senses, nor inference or presumption. I know I am. I do not require anything, including the Veda, to arrive at my existence. Quote, I am, unquote, is self-revealing, self-existent. In this Jagat, universe we live in, the only thing that does not require a means of knowledge to prove its existence is the self, the meaning of the word I. Even your ignorance requires a sakshi. If Vedanta is a sakshi, means witness. If Vedanta is a means of knowledge, one may ask, for what is it a means of knowledge? I must exist even to hear the words of the Veda. When the Veda talks of means and ends, sadhana sadhya, of issues such as rebirth, punarjanma, adrishta punya papa, loka, devata, etc., it is easy to accept it as a pramanam, as these are not available to the five means of knowledge. However, Vedanta has a complete different subject matter to talk about. I, the self, as Brahman. Some people say Vedanta is intellectual knowledge. It is only theory. You have to do something to gain Brahman. You must put the teaching into practice, perform some action to transform the Atma into Brahman. This is meaningless. It is like saying first you lay an egg in the form of Atma Jnanam and then sit on it. In the white heat of meditation, the egg is hatched. The chick will come out, the Brahman chick. Either I am Brahman right now or I am not. If Vedanta is a pramanam in the form of words, the words must make me recognize the error in my thinking about myself. That which I think I am not is what I am. You require reasoning for that negation to take place, reasoning by which we can reach an unambiguous conclusion. The knowledge of oneself is aparoksha jnanam. We know pratyaksham, direct perception, and paroksham, indirect knowledge of an object born of perceptual data or of words. Many things we know in the universe is paroksha jnanam, including the Big Bang theory, existence of black holes, etc. They are all derived from perceptual data. Once the knowledge is confirmed, it is called paroksha jnanam. Yet na pratyaksham tat paroksham. Anything that is not pratyaksha is paroksha, indirect knowledge. Shruti says, this is in the Kenopanishad, mantra 1.5, Yat vacha anabhyuditam yena vak abhyudyate tat brahmatvam vidhi. that which cannot be known by words, but by which words arise, understand that to be Brahman. It is neither Pratyaksha nor Paroksha. It is called Aparoksha, Nitya Aparoksha. It is not born of a Pramanam. It is self-revealing self-existence. Na udeti nastam eti vriddhim na yati kshayam na yati swayam vibhati. It does not come to light in time, nor does it ever end. It does not grow, nor does it decline. It shines on its own. It is free of time and space limitations. That is Nitya Aparoksha, that which is never covered by ignorance. It never was Paroksha away from you. Even now it is Aparoksha. It is the self. It is you. You are the Vishaya, the subject matter. You, the Nitya Aparoksha Atma, are Brahman. Further, Shruti says, Yato va imani bhutani jayante yat yena jatani jivanti yat prayanti abhisamvishanti tat brahma. This is from the Taittiriya Upanishad 3.1. That which is the cause of the entire universe, that from which all beings arise, that by which everything is sustained and unto which everything resolves in pralaya, that is Brahman. Jagat is non-separate from its Karanam Brahma, the cause. That Karanam, Jagat Karanam Brahma, is you. When people hear this, the response is often incredulity. Shocking, not possible. How can I be the cause of this universe? That cannot be correct. How can I, with all my limitations, bound in this 5'7" frame, with one leg shorter than the other, be the cause of the world? You say, I am the Jagat Karanam Brahma. Can I go and tell anybody? Can I put it in my curriculum vitae? When asked for my qualification, can I say, I am the cause of this entire universe? Can I introduce myself to others like this? Do you know whom you are talking to? I am the cause of this entire Jagat. I am the cause of rat, cat, mountain, river. I am the cause of everything. I am the cause of you also. It seems a blasphemy. No, it is not blasphemy. Shruti talks about the sentence in all seriousness. The truth of it is unfolded by the Shruti methodically. By arriving at the conclusion that one is limited, is avichara siddha, a confusion born of not thinking it through. Everybody accepts this conclusion without adequate thinking, without a deep enough inquiry, without viveka. And because everyone around me has the same conclusion of being limited, my own wrong conclusion is constantly reinforced. I do not have any other basis for reaching a different conclusion. It is a universal conclusion, and when there is universality about the conclusion, I pass as a sane person. Insanity is nothing but confused self-identity, but because everybody carries the same conclusion, I seem to be okay. The other problem is that the conclusion is durvichara siddha, where you arrive at a wrong conclusion after some serious thinking. One may reach a conclusion that one has to perform certain actions and that those actions will produce moksha. This leads to absurd conclusions about the Atma. Atma is like this, Atma is like that. These conclusions have no basis or reality. Knowledge does not brook any interpretations. It is always true to what is. Look at this example. In the village houses, the height at the entrance doorway is always very low. So there's a footnote here. When children come from the big cities, they ask why this doorway is made so low. They're often told the doorway is made low to make you humble because you have to bend down to enter. However, you do not become humble just by entering a low doorway. When a person from the city comes to the village, he is told to mind his head. And he minds the head. He bends very carefully and goes. but he is overcautious and start bending his head from 5 feet before and then straightens himself up exactly at the doorway. He gets a big red bump on his head like the red light on top of a policeman. This is Durvichara Siddha. The other person got the bump without inquiry, Avichara Siddha, because he did not know about the low doorway. And this person with inquiry also got the bump, Durvichara Siddha. Durvichara Siddha conclusions are called schools of thought. One Acharya with a school of thought says, there are many ways of reaching Brahman, the Vastu. There are many options. People actually talk as if Brahman is a place to reach. This is wrong thinking. If you are Brahman and the Brahman is limitless, where are the options to quote-unquote reach? You do not have any options to reach. You just have to know you are Brahman. If you want to explore options, you have to say, I am limited. If you are really limited and you know you are limited, there is nothing to learn from the Shastra or from anybody else. On the other hand, if you are already free from all limitations and Vedanta Shastra reveals this fact about you, there is no indirect knowledge possible. Vedanta Shastra can only give rise to immediate direct knowledge. Dashamavat, like the story of the 10th man. Once 10 boys were crossing a river. On reaching the other bank, the leader counts to check whether all the 10 are safe. He counts only 9 and found the 10th man was missing. Where is the 10th man? Dashamaha Kutra. He counted in various ways, left to right, right to left, also by grouping them. Whichever way he counted, there were only 9. Dashamaho Nashtaha. The Dashama, the 10th man, is missing. All of them are worried and sad, just like the people in the world are. Where is the Dashama? An old man comes along and asks, why are they all so sad and troubled? They tell him the story. He tells the leader, count again. When the leader finished counting to 9, he taps him on his head and tells him, you are the 10th person. Many people exclaim, what an idiot, not counting himself. The fact is that it is the same kind of error people make about themselves. It is a very good example in that sense. There is a footnote here. Vidyaranya Swami makes use of this story elaborately in the 7th chapter of Panchadashi called Tripta Deepa Prakaranam. Tripti Deepa Prakaranam. The leader gained knowledge through the words of the old man. Is this knowledge paroksha or aproksha? Clearly it is not paroksha jnanam, indirect knowledge to be verified later. It is not even pratyaksha. It is aparoksha jnanam, direct knowledge, because it is the knowledge of the self. The leader already knows, ahamasmi, I exist. But one vishesha jnanam, that particular knowledge about himself being the 10th man, was not there. This knowledge that he is the 10th man releases him from seeking the 10th man. His confusion is not whether he exists. What he does not realize is that the 10th man he is seeking is himself. Only there does he have confusion. He does not know that while counting all the others, he has omitted to count himself, the counting person. Therefore, he is still seeking the 10th man. The old man tells him, Dashamosi tvam tattvam asi. Dashamosi tvam tattvam asi. Knowledge is direct, immediate. It is aparoksha jnanam. The counting and dismissing of the 9 persons is to negate what I am not, and the remaining person who does the counting is the 10th man. When he understands that the 10th man is himself, his seeking comes to an end. Vedanta tells you, Tattvamasi, you are that. It is arrived at by a pramanam, and Vedanta is that pramanam. Your attitude towards Vedanta should be that it is a pramanam, not a system of philosophy with diagrams and so on. Drawing diagrams on the blackboard or on a slide is only to try to and make it look quote-unquote scientific. What is the diagram for limitless? What is the diagram for love and compassion? The subject matter being what it is, you have to understand that words are meant to give rise to immediate knowledge. Vedanta is a pramanam, therefore the words of the Vedanta Shastra have to be handled as a pramanam. That requires careful handling by someone who knows well the teaching tradition. The 10th man is a common example in Vedanta. However, many examples can be cited from our daily life. My example is a person reading the Hindu on a Sunday morning. The footnote here, the Hindu is a popular daily newspaper in India. His friend comes to meet him while he is reading. He puts the reading glasses on his head and then chats with him over a cup of coffee. After a while, the friend leaves. Now he wants to continue to read and looks for his glasses. Where are my glasses? He asks his wife. She notices that they are on his head and knows she has the upper hand. So she says, "How do I know you keep your glasses all over the place?" He backs down a bit and says, "Did Krishna come here?" No, he did not. She calls out to Krishna, "Did you see Dad's glasses?" Krishna comes in, sees the glasses, and understands his mom is playing a game. So he tells his father, "I will look for your glasses. If I get you your glasses, will you take me for a movie?" Okay, I'll take you. Now where are my glasses? Krishna says, "Close your eyes. Now put your hand on your head." What for? "Dad, please do as I say." He puts on his hand on his head and he got enlightened. This is called quote unquote enlightenment. What you want is the possessor of the glasses. What you do not know is that you are already the possessor of the glasses. Only that much is the extent of the example. You only require a Krishna, somebody who can reveal to you what that you are the seeker of the sought. Knowledge unfolded by Vedanta Shastra is always aparoksha. The Vishaya subject matter does not require a pramanam, being self-evident. Atma, the self, is not pratyaksha, not available for perception by sense organs or mind. Is it then paroksha distinct? Distinct? No, because it is yourself. Atma being self-existent and self-evident, without having to be revealed by any pramanam, including the Shabda pramanam, is neither pratyaksha nor paroksha. The word paroksha negates pratyakshatvam, and the word aparoksha negates parokshatvam as well as pratyakshatvam. Therefore, it is referred to as aparoksha, nitya aparoksha. What reveals its own existence is the self, nitya aparoksha atma. Everything else becomes evident to the self. This jnanam of the aparoksha atma is always aparoksha jnanam. The teaching should be such that it acknowledges this fact. Then the teacher's job is to make you own that knowledge. Again, this is knowledge of Siddha Vastu, the already existent self. Even though this knowledge is born of words, it is aparoksha jnanam, not indirect knowledge. Like the knowledge of Dashama, that's the 10th man, the knowledge is immediate and is born of words. The right attitude on the part of the student towards this knowledge and Vedanta Shastra as pramanam is important. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.